just...
Next one. Stage 2.
Did we have something at the bottom? Oh yes, well basically the good news is that you'll get more money for it. The bad news is you cannot do it without training your teachers to deal with the AP. There is, the publishers have been very, very slow. Oh yeah, that's a need. I didn't realise it was on it.
Sorry,
yeah.
yeah.
Sorry, right.
Okay.
More training. Okay, new resources. You are going to need... the major publishers have been incredibly slow. Less in CLIL, they've been quite good at CLIL, but in the university sector, they've been very, very slow. And that means there isn't a focus on how the hell to get people through a selectividad on Thursday book that you can hand to a CELTA teacher and they'll get through it. They haven't got that, so there needs to be new resources.
Oh, sugar, sorry. Oh, no, don't look.
Technology.
Spelling.
This is the future.
Where are we?
Right, there needs to be a new curricula. We're thinking at about B2 level, that it probably won't change massively before that, but when you get to that level, people won't still want to do the same old, same old. It will have to be a new kind of curriculum, because they're doing different things with the language. You have to train the parents, because they're going to say, can't they just do FCE? And you're going to go, so you really want them to write a thesis in English? So you really want them to go to Harvard, and you think they can do that with FCE? Yeah. Right, okay, the good news. The good news is higher stake means more money, but don't promise what you can't deliver. Okay? And that's already there. That's already there in many, many, many countries. Many countries. Okay. Stage 2 is, we've jumped ahead about 10 years now, and the state sector has finally got better, and it's getting better quicker. Right? So where are we now? All right. We have to teach more than English, and what I'm arguing is that we leverage the methodology. We have a methodology which works on a subject which is intrinsically quite boring for most human beings and takes them a long time to do, right? So you can adapt that methodology to different kind of subject areas. I don't know about you, but I nearly died in physics. You know, communicative physics to me would have been a distinct improvement on the kind that I had. Okay, so how do we do that? Okay, so we've got, the state sector is getting better, and we have to, so that kids are coming out at sort of B2 at the end of school, so what do? Okay, one of the things that you find in Northern Europe is that once people have B2, many people will opt out of English and go back to learning other languages. Because if you are Dutch or Swedish or Norwegian and you speak English, that is taken for granted. The bus driver speaks English. If you want an advantage, you need Spanish and you probably need German. So when you get to a certain number of people will do that. And this is the idea that, of course, the average student in the average public school may come out at B2, but what happens to the students who are failing either at language or at other content? And one of the ideas that we stole from Japan was the language school picks up the pieces, right, and offers support for the student who's struggling in some subject area, either in content, which could be things like IT or maths or business studies, or in language. And at the other end, you have the kids that are ahead, or they might be ahead in one or two subjects and behind in other subjects, and you basically give them higher level than they're getting at school. And again, it could be about content, or it could be about language, or it could be about other languages. And it can also be that you're preparing them for things like the American SATs, right, which also give them an advantage on an international stage. How many Spanish universities rank in the top 100 internationally, do you know? 2. And actually, there's not a lot for the next 100 either.
Which ones?
The two that rank are Complutense in Barcelona, and then you get about 4 or 5 in the next 200, and there's really quite a lot that's not doing at all. You know, and when you see that Holland has 8 in the top 100, little tiny country. You know, a little tiny country that does English medium degrees for almost nothing for EU nationals. You might want to think, if you're, you know, people will start looking at sending their kids to other countries. Okay, so that's, and this happens again in Japan. So these are things that are done. All right, what's the next one? Okay, yeah, IT, maths and business studies was the ones that we thought are likely to come up. Right. In a way, the language school stops just being about teaching language, and it's about being more of a consultant, coaching people to do things, training. You have to train the teachers of the other subjects to use the methodology. So you become a more completely education provider, if you see. You become more of a specialist, more provider, and somebody that people rely on for more than just language. Yeah, you'll need more specialist teachers, but the good news is they don't have to be native speakers. You could perfectly well, nobody I think would have a single problem learning IT from a Polish teacher with good English. Nobody's going to say, excuse me, hello, you know. And if we're teaching maths, we certainly don't want it from a native speaker of English, because unless they're Irish, they're rubbish at maths. That's true, actually. If you look at the international PISA tests, the international the English spectacularly rank in the top 4 for physics and the bottom 4 for maths in the entire. And you go, how do you do the physics without the maths? I mean, I'm sorry, I could see how you did the maths without the physics. You know. All right. Stage 3. Okay. So that's been done. So what has not been done? And we thought about this for a bit. And finally, we came up with this idea that when people are doing their MBA online, or their Oxford University degree online, or their MIT online, or they're learning English through some amazing internet portal, and they go, help! I don't understand! I need a teacher. They will come back to the language schools to get the face-to-face support. And maybe the content of what they're learning is online or delivered by someone else. But the people who are there to pick up the pieces when it all goes horribly wrong are you. Thank you.
Merci.